Hello, for my first video, I'm going to be creating a Ruby ships tier list, saying my opinion on this. I thought this would be fun, because this fandom isn't decisive about this at all. So this is just my opinion. If you disagree, then place your thoughts in the comments. Hello, so let's see what we have. First we have Jean and Nora. Nora's Arc, I believe this is called. And I never really thought about this since they were both associated with the other member of the team, so I guess I'm just gonna put this in no opinion since I never really thought about it. Yang and Pyrrha. They're both buff girls, I guess. If you like buff girls, then you'll probably like this ship. Also, don't really have an opinion about this. Coco and Ilya. Kind of like the idea of the confident lesbian and the sort of conflicted and insecure lesbian. They're kind of cute together. It would be interesting to have them meet. Have Summer Rose and Raven Bronwyn. I guess the female members of Team Stark pulling a Korosami on the male members of Team Stark. Interesting, except we don't really know what Summer's character is yet, so I kind of am wary of any ship including her because we don't really know. So, and this does have a modest following I've seen, so meh. Martial arcs. Again, they're both sort of associated. Well, they do have some good friendship moments, and they did have like a moment in Volume 8. So somewhere between they cute and just friends, I think I'd go for. They cute. Ozpin and Glinda. I never really, even when the first time I saw it, I never really saw these two as any kind of a potential couple or a former couple or anything like that. They were just always just co-workers, like who was his most trusted ally or something like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna put platonic, just friends. Robin and Winter. This is the only one where my confliction is because I ship both of these people with like another person, like Robin with one of the Happy Huntresses and Winter with Crow because I'm still holding on to Snowbirds. So I've just put this is actually starting to get like a real following now. So I'm just gonna put meh here. Yang and Nora. I mean, they're both like the powerhouse of their respected teams. So I see like why people put them together, I guess, but I think they would like their energies would like cancel each other out. So yeah, I don't think that would really end up working out. Salem and Ozma. Well, we wouldn't really be in this mess now, would we, if it weren't for these two? I kind of draw the line at people who have actually like murder. So yeah, no thanks. This is bad relationship. Elm and Vine. These two kind of had a similar energy to like Ren and Nora, like the sort of brawler with a lot like high energy brawler and like these stoic, level-headed one. So, we never really saw them in that sort of relationship, but they were clearly partners, and Elm cared a lot about him, so I'm gonna put him in there cute. Ruby and Nora. Again, it's like the sort of high energy Sugar Rush is the ship name, but I never really thought about this one either, so it's gonna go on no opinion. White Rose. This one is definitely one of the more popular ones, especially near the beginning of the series, like with the tsundere and stereotypical female anime protagonist. But to be honest, I have like just no opinion about this. Like not a negative opinion, not a positive one. Like I don't think it would make sense if they actually got together, but I have nothing against it, so I'm just gonna put it on no opinion. Even earlier in the Ruby series, like this is only like the first in the first volume is when people were shipping them together. So like this has yeah, again no opinion of Blake and Weiss. They haven't really had that many moments together since season one. Neo and Roman. I don't think it was ever clear whether they were in like an apprentice mentor relationship or like an actual romantic one. A lot of people seem to be towards romantic, but I think it's more interesting if she's avenging him because like he taught her like about like being a thief and being a criminal. I think that's a little bit more because like the obvious thing would be for him to be like in a relationship, but since it's never explicitly like even implied, I'm just gonna put it under platonic. And yes, we have Arcos, the sacred cow of the ruby ships. But I have to say I did get into this one, and I always seem to like ships that end tragically for some reason, like this, and like Wally and Artemis from Young Justice, and Green Lantern and Hawk Girl from Justice League. You know, neither of them died, but it still didn't end well. Like this, like seems to just be my thing. It's just what could have been is like more interesting than anything we actually ended up getting. Like what could have been is so compelling to me, I guess. So yeah, OTP up there. Ruby and Blake. So a lot of people joke that they like have no interactions together, and that's kind of true until like volume 8 they had a conversation again. And yeah, I guess it's just sort of a counterpart to people that like Bumblebee, just to ship the other two members together. But I think they have more of like a sisterly bond personally. So platonic, just friends. Emerald and Mercury, I don't really think I saw them as like a potential romantic ship since they were both just kind of the people recruited by Cinder. I mean, there was a little bit there and maybe two or three, but I don't really think that he really cares about her. And now that she's switched sides, I don't really. It'd be interesting to see them again, but I don't. I think maybe more it would be more of a sibling relationship than a romantic one for me personally. Pyrrha and Weiss, or Schnikos. I guess in the beginning, like Weiss really admired Pyrrha and stuff, so I guess I could see why this would be a thing. Or maybe they would pull a Korosami on Jean. I've seen fanfics of that. So yeah, this is I'll put them in they cute. That'd be an interesting one. Tai Yang and Summer again with we us not really knowing about Summer like we just have to assume that she was like Ruby and I don't believe the crow is Ruby's dad theory so I do believe that these are the parents but it is interesting to like speculate like what their relationship was like her comforting Tai Yang after Raven left or like with him about that so yeah I like that yeah. Ruby and Pyrrha. Milk and cereal, I think. This is like fairly popular in the rare pairs, but I don't really understand. I don't really, I don't really get why. Eh, hmm. I don't really have much of an opinion about this one. Weiss and Sun. Uh, Arctic monkeys, snow monkeys. So I don't know. I think their personalities are just too opposite, and not in an opposite attracts way. So I'm gonna go with meh. James Ironwood and Glinda. There was definitely something going on between these two when we first saw uh volume 2. I think that they're exes. I think it would be interesting to see, like, for what we know now is James, for James as a character, like what he was like when he was younger and if they had a thing going on there. So yeah, interestingly enough for me to put in Love It because it's a really compelling story there. Watts and Tyrion, I guess they were the villains of Volume 7. I don't really see why people would ship them, but yeah, no thanks. Neptune and Weiss? It's never really made sense to me because, like, Weiss says to Jean that she doesn't want a guy that, like, just flirts with her, and then she goes out with Neptune, and up to that point, that was his only character trait. And then they break up, like, a little while later, and it's just kind of a bit for nothing. Not really much interesting about this. I don't like hate it, but yeah, pretty low on the mass scale. Maria and Pietro, they're old, I guess, and I guess they do know each other since he worked on her glasses, and they did have screen time together. So, maybe I'll put him in there cute because yeah, interesting story. Ren and Nora, the Mister Rogers of Ruby ships, and especially after that great talking out their problems scene in Volume 8, I think I'm 100% sold on this because they just so good. I'm 100% on the Renora train now. Coco and Velvet. I guess since Velvet was revealed as a lesbian, like shipping her with the female member of her team makes a lot of sense, and like they are cute together. But there's another ship for one of these that like was more alluded to in the book that I read. So I think they're cute, but I don't really like it. Like a lot. Pyrrha and Ren. Again with the opposite of this, Jean and Nora. They're into the other member of they were into the other member of the team, sort of, but they're both like level headedness, I guess. So I get why people like it, but again, it's since they didn't really have much interactions, I would put it in like no opinion or platonic. No opinion. Sean and Weiss. So I think that like at first it really didn't make sense, uh like in the first few volumes for Jean to like Weiss, because I mean Ruby was the one that was really warm to him and was really uh like he got along with, but and then Weiss was still like cold at that point. But after they grew as characters a little bit, I understand why people would like it. But it just seems so basic, like basic anime protagonists and like tsundere girl, like again with White Knight. It just seems so kind of boring to me. And since they're not really going for it, then it's just kind of there. Sea monkeys. Yeah, I think this one's fun. I haven't read the one the book after the fall. I haven't read that one yet where Team Sun makes an appearance again, so I don't really know of any other interactions. But I kind of like in the like bro way. Like I like it. I like it. I think they're cute. Sun and Blake. Here we have Black Sun, one of the half of the big shipping war. And I have to say, there definitely was a mutual attraction, and Sun like did help Blake like realize like not to blame herself for what happens and like balancing each other out and was there for her. But they seem like the couple that would like date for a few months and then realize that they were better off as friends. Like it was good that it happened, but it would never be like an end game situation for me. Like that's my opinion on Black Sun. Like just friends. Pyrrha and Nora. The opposite of martial arts, I guess. But I never really considered this one, I guess. Again, no opinion. Morrow and May Mariold. I guess this is kind of a strange one to include on here, but I guess they're the most popular, like the standout character of either of the Aesops and the Happy Huntresses. So I get why people. There's a few fanfics of this. I think they would be interesting, because yeah, I yeah they're cute. I want to see them together. Freezer Burn. I actually think that Freezer Burn of the Team Ruby ships would probably be my favorite. Like if one of the Team Ruby ships had to be canon, I would pick Freezer Burn. They have like some cute banter moments like in the first few volumes, and then of course like we have volume 5. So yeah, and they went with a more sisterly thing for them, but I would have rather it would have been switched where it's like Yang and Weiss are like more of the more romantic side, and then Yang and Blake are like the sisters getting through trauma together side. Like that would have been I think that I like the chemistry between Weiss and Yang better than Bumblebee personally. So I actually really like it. Crow and Tai Yang. Entire team. Entire team. Entire team. Robin and Fiona. We saw a little bit of these two interact in Volume 7. I think it's cute. I like it. This is this or one of the other Happy Huntresses ships is the one that I like for Robin. So yeah, they're cute. I like it. Tai Yang and Raven. Now this is interesting because they have like such different personalities when we actually see them, like when they're apart, that you wonder how they ever got together in the first place. So just from like a point of like, yeah, definitely wasn't a healthy relationship, but like what got them together? Like it's really intriguing to me, like what brought these two together to be a couple or whatever. So I don't like love it, and I don't think it's a cute relationship, but hmm. I'm wondering if they could like reconcile and like work together like in the future when now they know what's going on. Oscar and Whitley. You know, at first I was kind of baffled on like why this was so popular, but then I thought, wait a minute, we have the boy who's like the chosen one, and like a boy who's like this rich snob. It's the Drary fans. The Drary fans have returned, and I don't know if they ever like interacted off each other, but I don't know. I guess I don't really see. I don't really find this that interesting personally. So meh. Fair game. Okay. Okay. I was really, really excited when I heard that they were going to like, because I got into Ruby like after Volume 7 aired. Like, heard, oh, there's gonna be like a male friend for Crow, and a lot of people are shipping them. I love like male friendships that like a lot of people ship. I like Wolfstar. I like Barry Allen and Hal Jordan. I like Frodo and Sam. I like all of those ships. And then I saw like the season, and I saw what happened, and it was like, well, that kind of sucked. I wasn't into that at all. Like, first of all, Crow is kind of out of character in this season. Yeah, he's sober, but he would call out Clover for sort of being this like Elysian kind of bootlicker that he was. I mean, remember how he was in Volume 3? Yeah, he would have held his tongue a little more, but I think he still would have said what his opinion was. Like, maybe not to his favor. I think he still would have said it. And because of how Clover said that the Aesops weren't friends, I think Clover was just kind of like Crow obviously liked Clover because he thought that it would be the one person that his semblance wouldn't affect, and he thought that things were looking up for him because he wasn't drinking anymore. But Clover, I think he has this sort of like cult of personality, like friendly, like really charisma to him, and he kind of hides behind that. I never really liked Clover all that much. He never seemed genuine to me. And then when what happens on the ship with like Clover just yeah, like yeah, like everything about that scene is just terribly written. And it's just this is just everywhere. Like I can usually just ignore a ship that I don't like, but because this is just oversaturated with everyone with just angry fans, it's just soured on me so much that it's the Ruby ship that I probably have the most negative opinion about. And I'm not articulating it better. I'll explain it better in the comments. But I just do not see them as like even friends really. Like maybe just acquaintances that work together. But I didn't even see them as really forming a friendship. So yeah, no thanks, no thanks. Rant over. Velvet and Yatsuhashi, I think that's how you pronounce his name. In the book, they really explored how these two sort of complement each other, and I thought it was really cute. I really like these two together. Now that we saw, yeah, you had a little bit of that like in volume two, I think, when they come back from the mission too. Rosegarden. I bet the people that ship this would give their left arm to never have another age gap discourse ever again. Like, I see how people think it's cute, and there's a few scenes where they like imply that they have crushes on one another, and I think it gets way too much hate. Like, it gets like, if you ship this, that means you're a pedophile and you're a terrible person. Like, no, no. But yeah, like, I don't really want it to become canon. Like, yeah, no, I don't see them in a romantic. I see them more of like a brother sisterly. That's what I more think with them sort of relating to sort of being the chosen one, quote unquote, of the group. So yeah. Nuts and Dolts, Penny and Ruby. Press F in the chats to pay respect. I gotta say, Volume 8 really sold me on this one. Before, I thought it was cute, like, ooh, Ruby, weapons, like, yeah. I thought it was always cute. Like, Penny was kind of introduced as the sort of the way that usually a love interest is introduced. And I thought that like I didn't really ship Ruby with anybody, but if I had to, it would be Penny. So yeah, that's it's kind of sad that we're never gonna see that again. But yeah, I really like this ship. It really grew on me. Lancaster. Yeah, in the beginning of the series, I thought that like this is where they were going. Like I thought that Jean was gonna have a crush on Ruby, and then it would be like Penny, like Pierre has a crush on Jean, and Jean has a crush on Ruby, and like this big thing, and so because they have this great like male female friendship, like they're both the awkward ones at first, and they have like this really healthy relationship. I really do not see it as romantic though. Like now that I like go on, like I like that they're like the leaders of the team. I like them in a platonic way. Like it's a really good platonic relationship. Cinder and Raven, the maidens. I get like why people would ship them from like volume 5 from like a super powerful women sort of way. Like like a potential for fan art sort of way. But yeah, meh for me. Blake and Ilya. I all of Blake's harem that she's shipped with, Ilya is my favorite. I really like Ilya as a character, and I am one of the few that thinks that her arc was done really well. In fact, her arc was probably the best thing about the botched White Fang arc. This has like big Catadora energy, but like done like in a much smaller amount of time as Catadora, and in my opinion, done a little better than Catadora. I think it would have been really cool to have Ilya be Blake's ex instead of Adam because Adam just he wasn't even a character. He was just rage and he had a cool looking sword, I guess. He just wasn't interesting. But this would have been a much more interesting relationship to explore and they just have great chemistry in my opinion. So yeah, love it. Yeah, in the Black Sun Bumblebee debate, I am Catmelion and Fraser Byrne. The best way to resolve a love triangle is to ignore the fulcrum. But seriously, I think that these two would be great friends. And maybe they interacted a little bit, I don't really remember. Ruby and Ren. I never considered this before. Once again, no opinion. Cinder and Neo Spice Cream. This one has like gotten really popular since they had that alliance that, and then they betrayed each other like everybody said they were going to. But I don't really like Cinder with anyone. Like, obviously this wasn't gonna work out well. Like I like before the ending of like Volume 8, I really liked Cinder. No, not Cinder. I liked Neo and Emerald because they have like similar semblances and similar backstory. I think that I wanted them to like sort of ditch Cinder and just kind of go on their separate ways. But yeah, no, this isn't for me. Iron Crow. I actually kind of like this. I mean, before Ironwood kind of went off the deep end, but yeah, in the like he's super uptight and like the early version of Crow, them both not wanting to talk about their feelings. Yeah, I do like slash ships. I just don't like this slash ship. But yeah, I don't really love it, but I've read a lot of like Iron Crow fan fiction. Interesting. And now we get to Bumblebee, the the mothership connection of the RWBY fandom, where people either love it a lot, or just hate it and think it's the worst thing about the show and it's ruining the entire show. I personally think there are moments here like it didn't come out of nowhere and it wasn't forced. There were moments there, but I never felt like they had much chemistry or that it like I never felt like they had chemistry together. Yeah, they really cared about each other, but they don't communicate. Like we don't we haven't gotten a moment like Ren and Nora have gotten. If we could get that moment, then maybe I would consider being a little bit more positively. And you know what? I think it does get too much hate. Yeah, there are moments that they've been together that I've rolled my eyes at, or that. But yeah, like, and my dislike for him isn't really a dislike of the ship itself. It's more a dislike of either one of their characters at certain points in time. And because of that, when they're together, like their characters kind of erase. They're just kind of the entity of Bumblebee. They're not Blake and Yang anymore, which could be a negative. But since I am kind of lukewarm on each one of the characters, I'm actually kind of fine with that. And but due to that, it's kind of boring to me. I'm gonna be happy for the people that like it when it happens, but it really doesn't really do anything for me personally. So that was my list. I'm really new to this whole YouTube thing, so I probably didn't get my thoughts out in the best way, but leave a comment with what you want next and your thoughts on my video, and I will